MITSURUGI OGDOADIC. More like... Shitsurugi... Dog... Dick. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Genesys gamers! I'm MBT, and this is 100-Point Playtesting. I just wrapped up another remote Genesys regional, and I had a ton of fun. If you're interested, every single week we get more people, and you've got until the 30th for the next one. Regardless, I want to show off a deck that no one's playing, and one that could really make a splash if it's successful. Presenting MITSURUGI OGDOADIC.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
So here's the list from Peeps Yu-Gi-Oh! As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Genesys is out of beta. This year, attendance at the WCQ will require an invite. That's right, you can no longer just show up. Devastating news to the Farfians in the audience. But I've got your back. Deck lists, tournament reporting, and the easiest way to construct a pointed list await on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. I've been proud to partner with the premier way to prepare for events for nearly a decade, and as Yu-Gi-Oh! Transforms, so have they. Today's list, and hundreds of others, are available at today's sponsor. So whether you're starting your Genesys journey or aiming for the top, check out www.ygoprodec.com. Now back to the video. With that, let's mess with MITSURUGI. MITSURUGI and OGDOADIC have a few things in common. Both are reptiles, both tribute cards, but most importantly, both have, at one point, been the forecasted deck that breaks Snake Rain. And even though neither were, Genesys is ashless enough that we just might get away with resolving it. The core concept is this. The OGDOADICs represent a way to get material for King of the Fairlimps and to, well, actually tribute, as well as the tribute outlet that makes the MITSURUGIs sing. Inversely, MITSURUGI Ritual is a fantastic mechanism to bin as many reptiles as you want from deck, kickstarting Ogdo plays. It's a cool little push-pull, and as a tribute deck, gets to make use of some truly insane non-engine. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, we've got our OGDOADICs, one copy of Ogdoabyss, one copy of Nephilibis, an Alarit, a Curse, and then 3 copies of Wicked Serpent Knight Dragon, the SND retrain that really breaks boards like nobody's business. We're on 1 Kusanagi, 1 Aramasa, triple Saji, and then our 4s, 3 Noya, and 3 Nunu. For our ritual monsters, we've got 3 Ame no Murakumo and 1 Futsu no Mitama. Remember that Habakiri is 100 points total. After that, we've got 3 OGDOADIC Water Lily and better OGDOADIC Water Lily in Snake Rain, followed by 3 Enemy Controller, a Magatama, Double Mirror, a MITSURUGI Great Purification, and an OGDOADIC Hollow. For pointed cards, we are on 1 MITSURUGI Ritual and triple Book of Eclipse. In the extra, we have Gogiga Gaga Giga Gogo Gigago, Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis, Felgrand, Dingirsu, Sanafond, Lancelot Dark Knight of the Underworld, Utopia's Lightning and Utopia, Light Dragon Adignister, Tornado Dragon, Castel the Sky Blaster Musketeer, 106, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, Nightmare, and King of the Feral Imps at a cool 33 points in the side. We've got Wing Dragon Ross, Fear Mode, Skullmeister, Blizzard, Twin Twister, and 3 Dark Hole. So with that, let's check out a match. Our match is up against Fairy Tail, and, well, we've opened Snake Rain. We're going first. We're going to begin with a copy of Snake Rain, pitching a Nephilibis to the graveyard, then activating the effect of the Nephilibis in graveyard, summoning it to our side of the field. We'll go Nunu here in order to send in Aramasa, then Nephilibis in order to bring back a Saji, whose effect will trigger and grab us a copy of MITSURUGI Ritual. We can use the Nunu in graveyard to summon to our side of the field, and get a second 4 so we can overlay for a King of the Fairlimps, activate the effect, and add a Futsu from deck to hand. From here, we can summon the Futsu from our hand using the effect of the MITSURUGI Ritual, send 2, one of which is Kusanagi, who will cycle back the MITSURUGI Ritual and allow us to summon from deck by setting the Futsu, then triggering the effect of the Futsu in graveyard to grab a Great Purification. From here, we can go ahead and activate the effect of, in the graveyard, our copy of Ogdoabyss. That'll tribute the entire board. Grab us a copy of Magatama, bring back this Ame no Murakumo, and now it's time to set 1, 2, 3, 4, pass back to our opponent with 4 back row of Futsu and 2 board wipes. They're going to begin with a copy of Regulus, and that actually might be a problem. We'll go Ame, of course. They'll go for the Regulus effect. We will Futsu here. That enables us to summon this Saji back, and as they grab Empire of Endymion, we can, of course, trigger the effect once again of the Saji. We'll grab a Mitsurugi Mirror here, the free version of the ritual spell where permitted, and they will go for an Empire, which we probably have to contest with the Magatama so that we can get value off of our board wipes later. They're going to go for a Fairy Tale Luna, activate the effect. We will just go ahead and eat everything here, and we will just go ahead and send to negate the effect of the Fairy Tale Luna. Didn't expect more than one Murakumo. Afterwards, going to go Jenny of the Ring. We'll go for Futsu once again in order to bring back Kusanagi, trigger the Kusanagi, and add back that copy of Magatama as they go for an extender in Match Giru. Finally, they will once upon a Fairy Tale for the Match Giru to grab a Fairy Tale Ball, and they do have 2 4s on their side of the field, which enables them to make their powerful Wicat, so we will take it using our copy of Enemy Controller. So it's time for game 2, and this time we are going second. This is a pretty good hand for going second. Hand trap and another piece of non-engine in the Book of Eclipse. Our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Advance, kind of a weak normal summon. Going to get an Amelia from deck, trigger the effect of the Amelia, grab a Bryanak, and then of course it can activate the effect of the Bryanak in order to grab from deck to hand another copy of Amelia, or in this case a Cataster. From here they have 2 4s on their side of the field, so they can overlay for a Wicat. They'll activate the effect of the Wicat, send 2, then activate the effect of their Match Giru into nothing. They'll go Cataster afterwards in order to summon back the Amelia and Jenny of the Ring, which makes them able to make a 4 here. Rilliona for Crowley, for Zorua, for Rilliona is 1 monster negate and kind of a pop. Alright, they'll set 2 and then activate the effect of Tails in Graveyard before passing back to us, and that's not a bad draw. We're going to begin with Book of Eclipse. They will Unbreakable Xyz Barrier. We'll go Snake Ray next, send 5. We're going to go for the effect of Nunu here, summoning it to our side of the field, and normal summoning an Aramasa. They will go for the effect of the Zoroa here, which is actually kind of a problem. We'll go Curse, they'll bring back a monster, and we'll Mitsurugi Ritual for an Ame. We can, of course, trigger the Ame to wipe the board, and then cycle back this copy of Alerti. They will add the Advance back, which means they have follow-up, so we probably do have to kill them here. We will activate the effect of Murakumo in Graveyard, grab ourselves a copy of Kusanagi, then use the Hieratic Sun Dragon to pop the last remaining unknown, triggering the effect of the Kusanagi to grab at Magatama, and then triggering the effect of the Nephilabyss, grab back this Murakumo. We'll go to battle phase, and unfortunately, we are a little shy of lethal, which means this Magatama is going to have to do pretty much everything against a hand that theoretically does have plays. They're going to begin with an Empire. We will Magatama that. They'll go for Advance. They'll trigger the effect of the Advance. We'll make them discard, but the writing may be on the wall for this one. They're going to go for Amelia for a Bryanak. Then afterwards, they can just go for the Bryanak effect in order to grab another Amelia, and probably a Wicat gets them all the way there. I guess we'll have to see. We're going to bring back our Nephilabyss as they go for Wicat. They'll trigger the Wicat, setting a Snow here and a Once Upon, setting the Once Upon, and then activating the effect of the Match Giru to get it back to their side of the field and grab a Ball. Ball effect can grab them a Luna, and then after that, they can use the Tails effect in Graveyard to get an extra normal summon. Normal summoning the Luna and extending just a little bit further. Remember, they're just trying to count to 8 here. The Jenny of the Ring can't attack directly, but it can enable some pretty powerful plays as well. Amelia comes down, Jenny comes down, and then afterwards Tails comes down for Weaver. They're going to go to battle phase for 2850, 1850, 1850, and of course that Graveyard copy of Snow will do the trick. Rough stuff. Pretty close game 2, but now it's time for that all-important game 3, and well, this is a pretty good hand. We can make it work. We are going to begin with the effect of our Saji. That's going to grab us the Mitsurugi Ritual. From here, we can activate the Mitsurugi Ritual in order to summon a Futsu by setting Aramasa Kusanagi, and wow, it's just like normal Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll trigger all those effects, grab a copy of Murakumo, and add back to our hand this copy of Mitsurugi Ritual, which will activate for a Murakumo from deck, trigger the effect of the Futsu, into a Skullmeister. We're going to make them discard here, but unfortunately the discard is Once Upon, which gets to set itself. We're going to go for Nunu here and Alarit. We'll trigger the Alarit here, and they're going to add back the Skullmeister, which is irritating because it means when we go for the Murakumo, they can activate it again. Okay, well, we can go Nunu here and go for a copy of King of the Fairlimps. We're still in a pretty good position, despite giving our opponent 2 Skullmeister activations. We'll send a Curse here, then activate the effect of the Curse to Tribute. They'll bring back the Skullmeister, then we'll activate the Curse in order to cycle back the Naoya. We'll trigger the Naoya for an Ogdoadic Water Lily. Then after that, we can overlay for a Hieratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis, eat the whole board, Ogdoadic Water Lily, back a Murakumo, activate the Graveyard effect of our Nephilabyss, trigger the effect, and bring back this copy of Futsu as well. Finally, we'll tribute everything for an Ogdoabyss, set a card, and pass back to our opponent. They will draw for turn, and this is a tight one. They're going to go for Luna, activate the Luna, we will Ame, they will discard a DD Crow. Down comes Genia, and then afterwards, we will activate the Graveyard effect of our Nephilabyss. They will Ball, we will Blizzard, feeling good about that, and they Super Poly, but unfortunately for them, we can still use our Ogdoabyss to eat the board. They'll draw a card and scoop it up. So we're back with the deck, and honestly, I'm impressed. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1, these engines were made for each other, man. Obviously, I'm not the first person to play Mitsurugi Ogdoadic, but it really does have something special. 2, no Ash Blossom. That's a big deal. A big deal. Resolving Snake Rain does win you the game. And 3, decks just aren't prepared to play into 2 board wipes. Ame and Abyss are just absolutely killers. And the cons. 1, your points are fucked. 51 on Ritual and 33 on King of the Pharaoh Imps leaves you 16 to work with. That's a playset of ogres or books and not a lot else. 2, now that hand trap math has changed, you're way more likely to see cards like DD Crow and Skullmeister, which are insanely good against you. And 3, some decks do still play Ash. A lot of strategies with points to spare will cut out 45 for the best hand trap of all time. All in all, despite its weaknesses, I really like this deck. I hope it takes off, and I hope you'll be the duelist to make it happen.